Just give me the masking tape.
Oh, I gotcha.
What are you doing? Get that tape off of there.
From stealing food during service to disguising burnt dishes.
How's it cooked? Just touch that. It's requested pink. Barely edible.
These are the times Hell's Kitchen chefs crossed the line and paid for it. Cheating in Hell's Kitchen isn't always about breaking rules. Sometimes it's hiding a mistake. And in Season 2, Rachel crossed that line by trying to disguise bad cooking instead of fixing it. Late into dinner service in Episode 5, the Red Team was under heavy pressure. Orders were backing up, Chef Ramsay was already frustrated, and Rachel was running the meat station.
Rachel!
Yes, Chef.
Come here, you. Come here. Now. All of you, come here. Right now. And eat. Eat that. Eat it. I'm dying to understand what's going through your mind.
Gordon Ramsay called Rachel out. Mid-service, he stopped everything and made the team taste her quail. It was dry, burnt, and clearly overcooked.
What do you think of the quail?
It's overcooked. A little too much reduction on the salt, and a few bones.
What's your verdict?
It's dry and it tastes a little burnt.
Yeah, a little burnt.
Ramsay warned her straight up, don't cover things up, fix them.
You want to go home? No, you tell me now.
I will not let you down tonight.
I can identify with the hunger, but right now, Missy, get it together.
I will.
Communicate.
I will.
Open up and start talking to me.
But later that same service, things got worse. When her Wellington came up overcooked, panic set in. Instead of refiring the meat or owning the mistake, Rachel tried to paint the meat with red sauce to make it look less done than it really was. But the moment Ramsay touched the meat, he knew something was off.
How's it cooked?
First it was cold.
He called Rachel over immediately and exposed the trick in front of the entire team.
Come here. Rachel, come here.
Yes, Chef.
Yeah, just touch that. What's the lamb? It's requested pink. That's cooked to... It's barely edible.
For Ramsay, that crossed a serious line. It wasn't just a mistake, it was dishonest cooking, so he shut the station down on the spot.
Oh, for God's sake. Stop right there. I'm going to put you out of your misery. Switch it off.
By elimination, her fate was sealed. Rachel was nominated by Virginia, called forward, and ultimately sent home. And that's when Ramsay made it clear, if you try to disguise bad food instead of owning it, you don't belong in Hell's Kitchen.
Rachel, because you clearly let our team down today.
So the person leaving Hell's Kitchen tonight is Rachel. Take your jacket off. Good night.
In Season 20, Episode 2, the pressure hit a whole new level when Mike Tyson walked into Hell's Kitchen with his family and sat at the blue team's chef table. What should have been a dream moment instantly turned ugly.
I've got a salmon up there where it's not even fired. And FYI, the salmon's actually raw. Mike has just sat down with his family, and right now we look like a bunch of idiots.
From the start, the blue team looked shaken. Orders were called too early, then missed completely. Salmon hit the pass raw, lamb came back undercooked, and timing was a mess. With Tyson watching, Gordon Ramsay could already tell this service was slipping.
Starving, Marvin.
Touch that, all of you. Jump in, someone. Just touch that.
It's rare.
It's rare. Oh, ask me not.
As the night dragged on, things only got worse. VIP counts were wrong, communication broke down, and Tyson's table was left waiting while the kitchen scrambled.
How long on those 2 chickens?
Should be 1 chicken next and then 1 chicken after.
It's 2 chickens for VIP.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Ramsay wasn't just angry, he was embarrassed. This was his chef table, and the blue team was blowing it.
Is that the chicken for this table? How do we forget Iron Mike's? How does that happen?
And then came the moment that crossed the line. As Tyson's table grew restless, Matthew Francis, desperate to get his chicken right, quietly pulled out a digital meat thermometer mid-service.
This is only at 118. This is back in. This is only at 118.
Matthew pulls out a digital thermometer. Where the did we get digital thermometers?
In Ramsay's kitchen, that's a huge red flag. Chefs are expected to know their protein by touch and experience, not check temperatures like a home cook under fire. When Ramsay later revealed the thermometer, the reaction was brutal. Someone had smuggled in a tool and still couldn't cook properly.
After you left the kitchen, I found a meat thermometer. How incredible that somebody sneaked a meat thermometer in here, and then we still couldn't produce any cooked protein.
By the end of the night, the damage was done. Matthew was nominated for elimination, and Ramsay didn't hold back. Raw chicken earlier in the challenge, raw lamb during service, a bad attitude, and now cheating under pressure. It all added up. Matthew was eliminated on the spot, becoming one of the earliest exits of the season.
Matthew, you served me a raw chicken, and then tonight you served me raw lamb. Therefore, give me your jacket.
But cheating in Hell's Kitchen didn't start with Matthew. One of the boldest and dumbest moments came back in Season 1, Episode 6, when Andrew crossed the line.
For the first time ever in Hell's Kitchen, your menus are going head to head. So you're going to be judged on the amount of orders that come through to the blue team, how they enjoyed the experience. That will determine. Just remember one crucial thing, your menus.
After losing the blind taste test challenge, Ramsay punished the blue team by locking their storeroom, making it harder to grab ingredients during dinner service. No shortcuts, no excuses, or so he thought.
I'm locking your storeroom this evening. I think your baby chickens are in there, is that right? Sure. I'll give you the combination. C1690Y. Log it. I'm saying it once. Let's go.
Instead of dealing with the punishment, Andrew decided to get clever. While the team was supposed to struggle, Andrew was caught taping the storeroom lock, trying to keep it from fully closing so they could sneak in whenever they wanted.
What do you want? Give me the tape. Give me the masking tape. Just give me the masking tape.
Oh, I gotcha.
What are you doing?
Sous Chef Scott spotted it immediately and absolutely lost it. He dragged the team over, ripped the tape off the door, and made it clear this wasn't bending the rules. It was straight up cheating. The punishment instantly got worse, and whatever advantage Andrew thought he gained completely backfired.
Get that tape off of there and get the back in there. You think I'm stupid? I'm not stupid like you. You guys it up, you get a punishment. You don't rig it so it works for you. You blew it, pay the consequences. Got it? Yes, sir.
Dinner service didn't help his case either. The blue team struggled, customers sent food back, and the halibut became a disaster.
John Philip just explained to both Andrew and Ralph problem with the halibut, yes?
Fish, overcooked, and no flavor whatsoever.
Tasteless.
By the end of the night, Ramsay had seen enough. Andrew was nominated for elimination, forced to defend himself, and exposed as someone trying to survive with shortcuts instead of skill.
So my nominee for tonight is Andrew.
I don't take responsibility for that fish. I can't walk out of here for the wrong reasons.
When the final decision came down, Ramsay didn't hesitate. Andrew was eliminated on the spot, with Ramsay making it clear he'd been fooled long enough.
Andrew, give me a jacket.
In Season 14, Episode 3, cheating didn't happen during dinner service. It happened right in the middle of a challenge. During the fish challenge, the blue team even had a 5-minute head start, putting them in a great position to win. Adam was cooking halibut with risotto, but as time ran out, his rice wasn't ready. With minutes left, he panicked.
This risotto is just not getting done. I thought I left myself enough time. 3 minutes to go, chef.
Instead of owning it, Adam quietly asked Millie for extra rice and used Millie's risotto as his own.
You have enough rice to go for 2? I got that. Yeah. Last minute, guys. Let's go, Adam.
When it came time for judging, the blue team needed both Adam's and Millie's dishes to score a point and stay alive in the challenge. That's when guest judge Michael Kimarusti noticed something odd.
I did a pan-seared halibut with a little bit of grilled baby bok choy and then the basmati rice.
Fish is cooked nicely here and pretty well seasoned.
Right, Millie.
I have a halibut franchise batter with a bell pepper rice. How did you guys both wind up with rice on the dish?
Both plates had rice. Ramsay confronted Adam directly, and with nowhere to hide, he admitted it.
Did you guys share on that one, or?
Did you take some of Millie's rice? I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut the ball. Did you take Millie's rice? Yes, sir.
Because of Adam's rule break, the men paid the price. While the women headed out for a beach reward and surfing lessons, the blue team was stuck back at Hell's Kitchen for seafood delivery day.
Today is seafood delivery day. Carry these fish into the kitchen, scale it, portion it ahead of tonight's service.
Yes, chef.
They had to haul massive fish into the kitchen, scale them, gut them, and portion everything by hand.
We have halibut that 3 people have to carry. We got red snapper that we have to scale and gut, clean. It's not cool, but you lose, you gotta pay.
Just when they thought it couldn't get worse, lunch arrived. Peanut butter and jellyfish sandwiches. No joke, everyone had to eat it. No skipping, no excuses.
Peanut butter and jelly fish? It's not good.
I don't feel good.
Oh, God. Yeah, I bet.
By the time the women came back relaxed and refreshed, the men were exhausted, cut up and miserable, all because one chef tried to save himself by stealing rice. Adam survived elimination, but from that point on, he was known as the guy who broke the rules and punished his whole team. When people talk about pure chaos in Hell's Kitchen, Raj Branston is always near the top of the list. And in Season 8, Episode 3, he crossed a line no chef should ever cross. The episode started with a fast-paced breakfast challenge for EMTs. Omelets, eggs, French toast, simple dishes, but brutal when speed and teamwork matter.
We are going to be making an amazing breakfast for these talented paramedics. Remember, it's a race. Are you ready?
Yes.
Right away, the blue team struggled. And at the center of that chaos was Raj. He was clashing with his teammates, he argued constantly, ignored instructions, and spent more time talking than cooking.
There's not an ounce of seasoning in there. These guys save lives for a living. Yeah, and you're about to up their breakfast. Got it? Yes, chef!
Oh my God! There's no salt, there's no pepper.
Go ahead, go!
I thought I seasoned it, chef, correctly, but no, obviously I didn't.
Dinner service barely held together, and Ramsay was already furious with the blue team.
Who's in control here?
Come on, guys, let's push this out.
Absolute disaster.
Then came the moment that sealed his fate. While food was being rejected, refired, and backed up at the pass, Raj was spotted doing the unthinkable, eating food meant for customers right in the kitchen. Not tasting, not checking seasoning, just straight up eating it.
I see all this food, and it looks delicious, so I just, ate it.
Raj, please don't do that. Look at his eating, look. Haven't you got enough in there?
But that's so good. It's really a waste.
Wow.
It's really tasty.
By elimination, Raj's pattern was impossible to ignore. Ignoring rules, ignoring teammates, and now stealing food during service. When Ramsay made his decision, it wasn't even close. Raj was called out as being completely out of his depth and sent home on the spot.
Okay, this is a very difficult decision. The person leaving Hell's Kitchen is Raj. You, big boy, are out of your league. And I personally can't go an inch further. Jacket.